guys, Dustin with Top Deck here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the fusion build of Blue Eyes. Now, if you remember right, I said I was doing a little series of rebuilding some nostalgic decks that can also combat the meta. I started off, I did do a Blue Eyes build that was purely around getting out Chaos Max Dragon and making that, being able to go against the meta and I did release the Dark Magicians too as well, so if you want to check that out on my channel. So now I'm going back into Blue Eyes, but doing the fusion build, based on getting the boss monster out here. Now, this build is purely built to go second. Now, I know they're saying, with a lot of decks, oh, if you build a going second deck, you know what I mean, it's not going to work out for you. And I disagree. Yeah, there are some big boards that you can put up, but I took that into consideration. You'll kind of see where I take this deck. But it's a lot of fun. It's a big powerhouse deck as well, and it can do what it does very well. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into that deck profile. So, starting off with the main monsters here, we are obviously playing Blue Eyes at 3. He's one you want to keep at 3. You don't want to drop him down. He's good for fodder, and you need him for your your polymerization plays to get the big boss monster out. I finally did get all my secret rare versions of this. They got pretty pricey, but next to the the game version of the card that came out, that's, you know what I mean, it's just way too expensive. So I personally like my secret rares and prismatic rares and stuff like that. So I usually try to get together the max rarity that I can pretty much afford. So I thought this one looked really nice. So, but you definitely got to be playing 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Then we're also going to be playing 3 alternative. He's pretty much your 6 copies of Blue Eyes that you're running in here. You're going to see a big focus on around the level 8s, and obviously because of trade and everything, because we do obviously play that in the deck. But so we're going second. This is one of the first cards that can pop something on your opponent's field. And obviously if you use him for fodder into the ultimate, you can, that allows you to pop 3 cards. So that's what this deck is going to be doing, is just pretty much, eliminating your opponent's board piece by piece. So definitely got to be playing 3 of him. So now we don't have exactly a normal summon, so this deck isn't built to really need a normal summon. So I play Lava Golem at 3. Now, in theory, this is a level 8, so it synergizes with Trade-In. Now, and since we don't play a normal summon, or we don't rely on a normal summon, this is a real problematic card for your opponent. So I thought there's so many negates out there and to stop your play, but except for when it comes to sacrificing their monsters. So they can't really do much about that. So this card is very good. So this just eliminates 2 cards, and then you can get rid of this off your opponent's field, no problem. And like I said, it also synergizes with trade-in, so that's something also to consider. So taking out 2 monsters right off your opponent's board can, open up, better plays for you. Say you get rid of their spell and trap negate, or they just have an omni negate, you can get rid of that, and something else. This is very, very good in the deck. So definitely consider playing him, because we don't, like I said, we don't rely on a normal summon on that. Now also to play on the level 8s, we play Gamma Seal at 3 as well. This is another one where you can just sack a monster, and then if you happen to open up 2 copies in your hand, then you get to special summon one on your side of the field. So that's really nice, and it's level 8, and it can get rid of another monster. So far we're going through, we have alternative that can pop a monster. Lava Golem can sack 2 monsters. This one can sack 1. And there's not much they can do about that, so that's where I kind of took this deck, is just, ripping apart their board piece by piece and then going in for the OTK, so like I said, it's a real good strategy in my opinion. So you guys may want to give that a try. Because like I said, they're all level 8s, so you have so much fodder for trade-in, it's going to be almost always live. Um, Now to go into this, I do play one White Stone of Legend. This is literally the only one that I play in the deck. I don't play Ancients, and I only played one of these. I did have them at 3, but I was playing around with the deck, and there's so many other ways to get Blue Eyes into your hand or on the field or anything like that, or just drawn through the deck. So that's what this deck is just built to do, is just to get Blue Eyes either on the field, in your hand, or even get it into the graveyard and reborn it, like, go into your fusion place. So this one, you don't need to maximize them. They're just kind of bricks, honestly. So just in my personal opinion, like, really, I just go in to dump this card once to get a Blue Eyes in my hand. So that's why I'm just playing one single copy. So I'm more wanting to break my opponent's board than anything, and rather than just like loading my deck down with a bunch of those things. So now into some of helping to get polymerization to your hand. We do play 3 King of the Swamps. You toss him, you add polymerization to your hand. It's very important. You need to get you want to get into your fusions. It's a fusion build, and the fusion monsters are extremely strong. So you definitely need to be seeing, polymerization in your hand. And he can count as another Blue Eye. So that's what's nice about this card is, you can count them as, one of your fusion materials. So that's really nice too. So it's almost like you're playing 9 copies of Blue Eyes in your deck. So that's really nice. But definitely 3 of him. And then we were talking about what you're going to get from him is polymerization. So we're getting into the spells. 3 polymerization. Obviously, there's not much to say about this card. That's what you want to get into your fusion plays. So, realistically, you're playing 6 copies of polymerization. With King of the Swamps. So, definitely gotta have these all maxed out. Gotta have 3 of each. Now, for a tech that I use, I do use the Diffusion. This card is a lot of fun, and it helps your OTKs. So say you're going through your opponent's board, say you threw down a lava golem and you're just picking apart their boards, and you get out your the ultimate alternative dragon, and say you get 3 pops with it, and then you can't attack with them, then you just hit him with the Diffusion and put 3 Blue Eyes back on the field. And then you've got 9,000 damage just sitting right there. And this can help you dodge stuff too, if they try to do something to it. I know the dragon's got, some protection on it, but this could also help you dodge as well. So, because some of your other fusions don't necessarily have the best protection. So, that's why I play this. I think it helps with the OTKs, because you're almost always, you're going into a fusion play. So if you draw into this, it just helps you push for that OTK. Now I just do play 1 Dragon's Mirror just for the later games if you do get there, just to be able to use your graveyard for fodder into your fusion monsters. So, but normally you're wiping them out on, your first turn, but going second is really the key. But this is just in here for just in case purposes. So, now to get into some of the searching of the deck, we obviously play 3 Melody. In any kind of deck like this that revolves around Blue Eyes or anything like that, you're going to be wanting to play 3 of this card. I mean, it's just nice. It's 2 Blue Eyes right in your hand, or an alternative in a Blue Eyes. So, this card's really nice to have in the deck. It's really a staple at this point. So, and then also playing 3 Trade-In. This card is great in the deck because we're playing so many level 8s. Now, some of you may be wondering why I didn't choose to play like Legionnaire. I didn't want to risk, honestly, because in my opinion, I would want to go for the multiple pops with Legionnaire, not just the Reborn, because I've got so many ways to do that anyways. So I didn't think banishing, 3 light monsters just to get 1 back was that strong in this build. And I didn't want to have to go into link plays and stuff like that just to try to get a dark in my graveyard or anything like that. So it was just mainly built to destroy your opponent's board and then run in for that OTK. So that's basically what this deck was built to do. So I didn't think Levianeer was really necessary in this particular build. Now in a rank 8 build of Blue Eyes, I think he's pretty strong in it. So to final off with the draw power, I do play Pot of Extravagance. I'm a huge fan of this card in general. I think if you're only reliant on, a few monsters in your extra deck, you might as well triple them up and play this card, because any extra draw power you can get in a deck, the better. And this card did just get a reprint, and I've noticed the prices are starting to come down on it, which is really nice, to help out some of the budget players. So, this card is very universal. I use it in a lot of my decks. Because unless you're playing like a huge combo build or something, you can normally fit this in or build your deck to fit this in, and just getting a free draw 2 is just absolutely great. So I play 3 Extravagance. Now, on to the next. I play 3 Return of the Dragon Lords, just in case my Blue Eyes go into the graveyard or anything of that matter. And it's nice to get the protection from this card too as well. This deck does do that well. It has a lot of protection, cards that do that, or they have built-in protection. So that's another thing. Like, trying to get rid of some of your bigger monsters can be kind of difficult for your opponent to do anyways. So definitely consider playing 3 of these, because these are just really nice. You know what I mean? I don't play Monster Reborn. I just couldn't fit it in here, and I just thought having 3 of those, because they're not once per turn either. I just like to have the protection effect, in my opinion. So, now other things that can get Blue Eyes right to the field is Fusion Deployment. Playing it at 2. I probably would have had it at 3 if it wasn't like a once per turn effect. I just didn't want to see open up 2, like 2 copies in my hand. So that's why I'm playing it at 2, and the deck's pretty tight as is. But it's just another way to get a Blue Eyes right onto the field from your deck. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm not loading my deck down super much with the eggs there. Because there's just so many ways to just get it in your hand or the field, which is all you need for polymerization. So, but this card is really nice. I'm actually going to be putting out a updated build for the Dark Magician deck I put out not too long ago with that in it, because it just makes it so much more consistent. So, now on to the next. Play 2 Dragon Shrine, to toss the 1 egg that I am playing, and a Blue Eyes in there, since, we're playing Dragon Lords at 3. Odds are you can get 1 back anyhow. So this card is very nice to have. I'd rather play 2 of these and 1 egg, because either way, whenever you're seeing it, it's always live. So what you can do, you can, drop 1 of them for a Foolish Burial if you're concerned about like opening up 2 of these in your hand. You really like to see this card. So I'm playing 2 copies of it. I don't think I'll ever really run into seeing 2 copies in my hand much at all. So that's why I'm choosing to play 2 of those instead of 1 and 1. So, but that's all personal preference for you guys. I just feel like getting a Blue Eyes and an egg in the graveyard is just a little bit more, it's a lot better in my opinion. So now to round off the main deck, I am playing Lightning Storm at 2. I couldn't fit 3 in here, and I don't want to see a couple of them in my opening hand. I just hate that, so I try to build my decks, to prevent that. So, but I know if you don't already have this card, it's way overpriced in my opinion. I actually only have 2 copies, but even if I had 3, I would not be running 3 in this particular deck. So, now there's plenty of other cards you can use in replace of it. This is really, I have it in here because I have enough to take out their monsters. This is for more to get rid of maybe problematic Backrow. So if you want to put like Twin Twisters in there or Cosmic Cyclone or anything like that, it's just more, this was more just to get rid of some Backrow because, Altergeist is in the mix now. So just to kind of help with that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm playing Lightning Storm. So, like I said, that is it for the main deck. We're just going to go through the extra deck real quick. It's pretty simple. I'm playing a lot of the main ones at 3 because of the Pot of Extravagance. So, we're obviously playing 3 of the big guy himself. You know, he's really nice. He's got great protection, and he can pop up to 3 cards if you use an alternative Blue Eyes for the fusion build, which you normally are. So, you know, he's a free pop 3 cards on the field, really nice, and along with everything else that kind of sacks their monsters or pops them. Like, by the time you get him out, they shouldn't even really have a field left. And if you have the diffusion in your hand, you know, you just, you know, go back into 3 Blue Eyes and just, you know, run into him for games. So this is definitely got to have him at 3. Even if you're not playing Pot of Extravagance, you know, you want to play him at least 2. Another really good one is Twin Burst Dragon here. He's really nice. You don't even need polymerization from him, and he can help get rid of some problematic monsters because he can banish too when he runs into him, and he can attack twice. And he can't be destroyed by battle. So he's really nice, honestly. So definitely be including him in there because, like I said, you don't even need polymerization for him. So, you know, this is definitely a really nice monster to have in here. So, now we do play 3 Neos. You know, he helps with OTKs, you know, and he can banish him to help protect, I think, targeting. So that's decent. But if they're wide open for an attack, maybe going into this one is a little bit better, you know, just because, you know, you can send other fusion monsters. He can attack, you know, directly a couple times, you know, as long as you send a fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. So, you know, he can use his effect up to twice per turn, so that's really nice. So you can just game him with this card right away. So definitely have him in there. So that's it for the fusion lineup. So I play 1-1 with these guys. They're just there just in case you have to go first, you know, just helps. But like I said, you always want to go second with this deck. Going first really sucks. And that's what the rest of this extra deck's for, is just in case you're like forced to go first, you have something to do. So these help with going first. As well as these guys here. So we play, you know, number 23 to help with an Omni Negate, and then we got Hope Harbinger to help with the spells, you know, just to, you know, have some kind of protection to go into. So that's why these cards are in there, you know, but you shouldn't need them all that much, you know, because for the amount of people that are playing going first decks, especially in the meta, I mean, no one is really going to want to go second, so you should normally always have that in your favor. So for the last 2 cards, I played Dingirsu. You can go into rank 8 really easy in this deck, and, you know, he helps out by sending non-targeting right to the graveyard, which kind of goes along with the whole deck's purpose anyhow. So that'll be it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. The next nostalgic deck for the series is going to be probably Heroes. I think I'm gonna do. I also have a Dino deck profile that I need to get out. That's more of the combo version of dinosaurs. You know, the going first variant is how I have it built right now. I think that's the strongest one that's going at the current moment. You know, because it can go first, and obviously it's dinos, it can go second anyway. So but let me know if you guys have any recommendations of what decks you'd like to see. Like I said, I am going to redo the Dark Magician deck to add the 1 card in there because it creates so much more consistency, and that deck profile did pretty good. So, but like I said, I'm continuing the series, doing more of the nostalgic builds, and, you know, making them more meta relevant. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.